Welcome to MacroCode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to proceed and create a simple hospital management system using a Blazor. So I'm going to create a new project here. So then we'll choose a Blazor template. So I'll just type in Blazor. So if you type in Blazor, you'll have several templates. So you have the Blazor web app. So this one is for creating both server-side rendering and also client interactivity. We have the Blazor server app. We have the Blazor server app empty, Blazor server app standalone, WebAssembly standalone. We have empty, and you also have .NET MAUI Blazor hybrid app. So I'll just use a Blazor web for creating both server-side rendering and also client interactivity template. So I'll just do that. Then here I'll type in my project name, Hospital Management System. Then if we just proceed, then here I'll use .NET 9. Then for authentication type, I'll also use individual accounts. Then interactivity render mode, I'll use auto. That is server and WebAssembly. Then for interactivity location, I'll use per page or component based. Then if I just click create new, so our project will be created, and we will have our first .NET MAUI, that is our first SP Blazor web app, and we are going to use that in our project, and also you're going to enhance this project. So as you can see, it has two different projects. So we have the client side, and you can see we have the program.cs, we have imports.razor, then under pages we have the auth.razor and also the counter. Then for the apps, for the server side, we have the program.cs. Then we have the app settings.json. This is where we'll be configuring our database. We also have data. We have our application DB context already configured for us. And we also have our application user where we'll be modifying the data. Then we also have the components. So we have the pages. So this is where we'll be adding some of the pages that we have. We have the layout. This is the main layout. And this is where we'll also be having the navigation menu. So you can see here we have the menus, and you also have the account. So here we have the pages that are related to authentication. We have the login, we have the logout, invalid user, forgot password, external login, access denied. We have the reset password page, all these configured. So this is also using identity, as you can see. But now I want us to launch this particular project to see how it looks like. So as you see, this is actually borrowing from some of the options that we've been using in ASP.NET Core MVC. So you'll have all those options. So as you can see, this is how our app looks like. So we have this is our hospital management system. We have this the counter. So if you click on it, you're able to see. Then we have the weather. It is actually giving us some dummy data. Auth required. So this is where you are able to log in and also do some magic. Then register. This is where you can register and use that to log into our application. But before that, let's do some updates on our app. So if we go to components, then under main layout, so I want us to change something that is under nav menu. I want us to change the name of our system. So you can call this HMIS, that is our hospital management system. Then if you just click that, you'll be able to see auto load. So let's see. So you see, so currently this is there. So you can say HMIS system. So let's just update and see. So you see it is already refreshed, and you can be able to see that. Then what I want us to do also is I want us to connect this to our database. So here, if you come to our app settings.json, so this is where we are going to do the connection. So I'm going to connect this to our SQL Server. So let me just bring it up. Let me bring up the So let me just check for our database. So we need to connect that to, so there we go. So I'm launching that so that you're able to see, and we need to have these to the database. So I'll just let me just bring this up here. So we're going to connect this to our database. So I'll just create a database here called HMIS. So this will be our database for hospital management system. And now if you go to this particular site, so we can now connect this to our database. So I'll give the name of my laptop. So I'll just do, so here will be, so this is the name of my, so if you come here, you can get the server name by doing here connect. So here, this is the name of my server name. So I'll just put in here. So that is the name of my server name. If I connect, then I'll have my HMIS here as the database. So I'll just go here, and then where we have this, I'll replace it with the database name. Then we have that. Then you can see here you have trust connection is true, multi-active result set is true, but now we can add one. So here I'll just do trust. So I'll do trust server. So trust server certificate. Then you can, this should be true. So I'll have trust server certificate, and that is true. Then you have multi-active result sets. We also set it to true. So this is connected now to our database. But now I want us to make some changes based on what we saw here. So, or even before doing any particular updates. So we need to add migration. So let's add migration. So I'll just come to our, so you can come to tools, then and you get manager console, then package manager console. That is where you can add migration. So I'll just do add migration. Then we can say initial. So do we even need to add migration? So let's just confirm here. So we have an initial migration file already created. You see this one? So this one, we don't need to add any migration. So because we haven't added any particular changes. So you can just do update database. So if we add migration, our file will be empty. So let's just do update database, and you can see build succeeded and everything is going on well. So it is creating some of the default tables that we have. So if we go to our database here, we will see that we have some of the tables that are there. So we have the EF migration table that is actually tracking all our migrations. We have the SPNet role claims. We have the SPNet roles. We also have the SPNet user claims, SPNet logins. We also have SPNet user role, SPNet systems users, I mean, and this is SPNet user tokens. So once we have that, then the next thing, if we launch our app, we can be able to register a user and log in. So there we go. So if we say register, I'm going to use macro code at gmail.com. Then here I can provide the password. So here I'll also do the password. So if I say register, so our user will be registered. As you can see, register confirmation, and we'll need to click here to confirm our account. So this one is supposed to send us an email. So once we configure an email, then we should be able to receive an email confirmation where you can now click a link and it will activate your account. So for now, if we just click here, so you can see an email confirmation has been confirmed, and we should be able now to log in. So if we just come to users and select it, so we'll be able to see there are some details. So here we have the user information already submitted. We have our password masked, our email, normalized email, security. We also have the phone number and all this particular information. So if we just try to log in with our account now, so if we just, so let me just do login. So you can see it is now saying hello world, and it has changed this particular section to our email address. So here that, and you can see we can now log out, and we can still access our information. We have the auth. It is checking if it is auth required. You can see you are authenticated, and we have our details here. So this is now our app, and we are able to log into our application. So I want us to do some changes to our models. So if we come to our application, you'll notice that we have our application user. So I want us to add some details about this particular user. So on this particular user, I want us to add some things. So one is I want us to add, so I'll just do public string first name. So that is, so I don't know, we don't have the first name, middle name in our table. So you can see it's only username. Then you also have last name. So you can do last name. So public last name. You can also have address, that's fine. Then I want us to add email address. Email we have it, phone number we have it. So you can call this emergency contact. So you can say emergency phone number. Then we can have date of birth. So you can do date time. So then you can say date DOB. So that is okay. Or you can say a date of birth. So you can do date of birth. Then here you can also do something. You can also say string. You can say mother name. So we are capturing the mother name. You can also do father name. So then we can have a national ID number. So let's just say national ID number. So I'll copy this here, and I can say national ID number. Then we can also have gender. So but before that, I want us to do something. I want us to create another model. Here I want us to create a simple folder here. We are going to call that folder models. Then here on our models, we are going to add a model called system code. So this one, you're going to call this system code. So that is one of our model. And for this particular model, we are going to use it to actually group some of the options that we have, so that we are able to, we don't have hard-coded options. So what we are going to do, so we are going to have some properties here. So I'll just do public int, then ID. So let me zoom this. Then we are also going to have here string. Then we have code. Then we are also going to have public string, then description. And here I can also add, instead you want us to have, you can also try to order some of these items. So you can do int, then you can do order number. So in case you want to order it based on certain things, you can use that. Then I want us to add something. So here I can also add another model. So this will now be the detail aspect of it. So we'll be having the code and the detail. So the reason as to why I'm adding this is assuming you have something like gender. So this will be system code. and then a male, female, and other will actually be system code detail. So instead of hard coding that, you can have it as a table whereby it has a grouping, and also that particular grouping has the detail aspect of it. So I'm going to also add here system code detail. So this now will be having all the options of the particular group. So we'll be having that. So we already have it. So this is ID system code. Then we have the code. So then we have the description. Then we have the order number, and we have the system code. So this will be ID, and that is okay. Then this will be the everything. So the next thing is I want us to be tracking the activity of our application. So every time someone creates something, we need to log the created by. So we can create a user activity model, and here we'll be having public. So here we'll be having public. So we'll be having public. Then we can say string created by ID. Then you can also have so this created by ID is actually a foreign key. You can do public application user. So we can use here application. Sorry, this should be application user. Then we have as a created by. Then you can also have created date. But this one we can call it created on. Sorry, so this will be created on. Then we can also have another one here. We can call it user modified activity. So this whenever you change something. So user modified. So this will be user modified activity. Then this one will be modified by. Then this is modified by. Modified by, this is modified on. So that is it. Then what we need to do is we'll be having this here. We can have here user modified activity. So then we'll be having all these particular properties. So now on our models, we'll now be adding these on top. So we'll be having that, and also detail will also be having this. So since we have this, that means, for example, gender in our application user, if you go to our model, where was it? It was here. So when you go to our model, instead of having now here, we can now add gender. So we can do public int. You can say gender ID. So this will be now gender ID. And we can grab that, and this is a foreign key. So we can do public system code detail, and you can now have here gender. So this is a foreign key, so then that is okay. Then we can add another one, for example, blood group. So you can have blood group ID, and you can also have here system code blood group. We can have another one, marital status ID, and you can have marital status as the options. You can also have what other thing do we need? So we can have, so we have marital status. We can also, I think it's something we can be updating as we go along, so we don't need to bother ourselves much, but we'll be adding it as we go along. So since we have this information now, we've updated our users table. And now I want us to, because you already have some records, so let's just add these as a nullable, and also this one and this one. So that is okay. Then we can now add migration. So we are going to add migration here. So I'll just clear this. And then if I just do add migration, then we say user details updated. But before we run that, I want us to do something. Remember the model we've created here and also the system code. We need to add it to our application DB context. So we need to add this so that it actually reflects to our database, and we should be able to now start using that particular information. So how do we going to add this? So we'll just come here, and so as you can see, this is our database. So what we need to do is just come here, and we can do public. So it is even giving us suggestions. So you can see. So, but we don't have to do everything. So I'll just come here, and I'll say system code details. I need to use the model, and I can also copy this. So here we don't need to do anything here. So I just remove this, and also we can do your system code, and these will be system codes. So you'll have to do db set the model, that the name of the table. So this will reflect the name of the table in the database, and also this one. So once you do that, then you are good to go. So I'll just add migration. Then these particular two tables will be created in our database. So we are going to create those particular options first. Then we should now be able to have anything. So it is saying unable to create that, the exception relationship migration of type either manually configure or ignore property. So if we just go to our application user, blood group. So this is blood group ID. So this one should be blood group, Marito status. This is also Marito status. So what we need to do is we can actually configure some items here. So if we come to our application, go to our application DB context, then here I want us to use something. So you can build a relationship here. So you can say application build.entity application user as one. So it's do gender as foreign key, gender ID on delete. You can also do here application user Marito status. This is Marito status ID, and also the blood group. So we can do here blood group. So let me see here. So we can do this blood group. Then this is blood group ID. So let's try to now add. So we have our model creating, then we have this particular option. So you can see our migration has been generated, and we have these particular changes. So it is adding this column to the SPNet tables and this particular information. Then for the system code details, so you can see here it is also creating some of those information. So let's update the database. So we do update database, and then that should be okay. We should now be having our database with new tables. So we have an error. So it is saying introducing foreign key on table system code may cause specific on delete action. So let's just also make some changes there. So if you come to application on DB, so we can come here, and we need to say, so on our system code, we have user created. So here we need to specify something. So this is telling us SP system codes modified by ID may cause cyclic. So we come here, we say modified by, then we say this is modified by ID. So we try to now add So update database. So let's see. It is telling us an error generating the code, pending changes. So let's remove the migration. So you can do remove migration. So that will remove the current migration, and we can now add a new one. So add migration. So that's because we've made changes to our application DB context. So it has also added. So let's try to update the database now and see. So if we just run that, then our database should be updated. So let's just see. Hope everything is okay. We still have an issue. It's telling us, so we need to also add that. We need to also add, sorry. So here we need to do system code detail, and we can say, so what is the issue here? Modified by as well. So we can add that. Let's also remove that, and we need to remove the migration again. Then we need to also add it. So I'll just remove that, then add migration. So a migration has been added. We can now update. Let's update the database and see. So if all goes well, then our migration should be okay. So we still have an issue, system code detail. So we need to also specify that here. So we can do here system code detail, system code. So this should be system code ID. So this will be system code ID. So I'll remove this, then remove migration again, then try to add. So remove that, then add migration. So these are some of the changes that and issues that you can get when adding a migration. So I'll update that, then let's just confirm. So I think it's okay now. So you can see everything has been generated, and these are some of the SQL statement that has been created. The issue you have been having is actually based on the foreign keys here. So if we just now go to our database and refresh the tables, we'll be having much more tables. So you can see you have the system code details. We have it here, and you also have the system codes. So if you come here, you'll see you have the system code, and it also have the various information. Now, remember we've changed our application user to have this particular information. We need to ensure that we are able to, when user is registering, so if we just launch this particular app, when the user is registering, we need to ensure that you are capturing the new information. So as you can see, when you are registering, you are missing that information here. So we need to register them. So I'll stop there for today. So on our next episode, I'm going to show you how to add those particular fields in this particular form, and also populate the other tables that we've just added. That is it for today, and see you in our next episode. Bye.